it has been a year unlike any other, right? And the tourism and hospitality industry devastated by this pandemic as more people are staying close to home. And in turn, more residents are enjoying what our state has to offer. So ABC 15's John Genovese talking with the director of the state's tourism office. And John, they want you to get outside.
Exactly, Allison, and good morning to you. I'm told city, state, and national parks have all seen an increase in visitors due to this pandemic. Maybe you are off from work this week and you're planning to be among that group, but officials want people to enjoy our outdoor sites responsibly and travel safely to the state when the time is right. From taking in one of the wonders of the world to pitching a tent and hitting the trails.
It really talks about how all of us, whether we're residents or visitors, can take care of Arizona.
Executive Director Debbie Johnson of the state's tourism office says outdoor parks and recreation areas have all seen more and more people showing up. Together with Game and Fish, state parks, state lands, and ADOT, they're rolling out a new effort called Appreciate AZ, with artwork and 7 principles, from planning ahead, packing out your trash, and sticking to the trails for people to follow.
Hiking is always one of my favorite things to do, and it's amazing to see the trails, and they're crowded, and that's a good thing. But we want to just remind people, because we know that this is going to continue.
More broadly speaking, the state tourism industry continues to suffer. Close to 200,000 workers rely on it, and Johnson says around half remain out of work.
Many of our smaller communities depend on tourism for their tax revenue, for jobs. And from my standpoint, obviously, we always want to talk about safe and responsible travel, but I also want to make sure that people do have jobs and that people can support their families.
The governor allocating millions to develop a strategic tourism recovery plan. Limited campaigns continue in drivable neighboring states, but the main focus now, she says, is bringing back business events and conferences that inject millions into local communities.
We're looking at summertime for those earliest timeframes that people would book those meetings that they would come for. And that's a big component of Arizona's business.
Amid this surge in warnings from health officials, it's a balancing act. Johnson says health and safety comes first in their planning and messaging, and whether it's for work or play, they're trying to meet people at their comfort level whenever the time is right.
We know people are traveling anyway, so we want to make sure that we're sharing the message of how they can travel, how they can come to Arizona, but do it safely and responsibly, not just for themselves, but for our residents.
And Johnson says some of those campaigns that are reaching outside the state can be turned on and off in an instant. For example, she says all messaging was stopped during the summer surge in COVID cases. But a big part of all this and a big selling point for our state, obviously, those outdoor areas. They want to make sure those are respected and preserved. And she says that educational aspect will continue even after the pandemic is over. Guys.
Yeah, like you said, John, there a moment ago, it's a balancing act right now where so much is still up in the air. All right, John Genovese reporting live for us. Thank you for bringing us that report.